I bid you all good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. 'Tis I, Mike Martins, bringing a very important, informative discussion topic. And guys, if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, be part of what's going on. So we have a little bit of a problem in Canada, and it looks like that Canadians as a whole, a majority, so I don't know who this majority is, a majority of Canadians want government to regulate social media, poll says. So this is just in time before the Canadian elections. They're just kind of in time during our elections back of last year, or tail end of last year. So a majority of Canadians feel that the government should intervene to fix the problems of fake news, disinformation, and privacy and data issues created by social media platforms, according to a poll. A poll of 3,000 Canadians by Abacus Daily said that 60% of Canadians feel that there needs to be government regulation of social media platforms. It was conducted in August by the Ryerson Leadership Lab. There seems to be support for the change in these platforms, says Sam Andrey, director of policy and research for the university think tank, which studies leadership and democratic process. Attitudes are definitely shifting. More people than you think. There is a role for government. What do you guys think? So let's move on to the next. So we already have government governing almost every angle or possibility of every different aspect of our lives, and now they want to go into our social media. So let's move on to here. Misinformation runs rampant in unregulated market of alternative media. So again, another thing here, people are looking for advice. So when they need advice for treatment and stuff, people go to social media, right? This article is coming out of New Zealand, but New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the UK, they're all under the same umbrella when it comes to promoting or wanting more government control, right? Canadian government says it's considering regulating Facebook and other social media giants. Self-regulation is not yielding the results. Canadians expect we are talking with other countries about how to regulate federal democratic institutions, minister says. So we're looking again at Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, Canada, and probably some of the socialist states or socialist liberal states in America to kind of get them on board, right? If once you get California, Oregon, and Washington State, then you know you're doing okay because you got a whole portion of the whole Western dystopia of the United States, right? Ottawa, the Canadian government is actively considering regulating social media giants and believes that self-regulation of the platforms has failed. So it looks like Canada. Here we go. Australia passed a stringent law that demands social media companies quickly remove violent content from their platforms in light the Christchurch massive. So, okay, in the UK, Parliament committee suggested that social media companies should be subjected to independent oversight and fined over. Online harms. The UK is looking to appoint an independent regulator, and then the UK digital culture media. So it's basically. I'm surprised I don't see New Zealand here, but it's in there too. Don't worry. Okay, here it is again. Trudeau government wants to empower CBC to police journalists. So the Trudeau government isn't satisfied simply to spend $600 million to pay off the entire media establishment in Canada. So this right there, once federal funds from the taxpayer gets funneled into a sector, it becomes state-run media, right? And I'm just calling a spade, right? I'm just telling you guys, legitimately, this is what's happening, right? They want to monitor your news and use the CBC to ensure quality in news coverage. So I guess they basically want to. There is indeed a crisis in news in Canada today. I'm upstairs in the morning, and my mom was watching some stream that she used to watch when she lived out east, and I'm listening to what they're saying. And people in Canada actually think Trump has been impeached, according to what the news is saying up here. And there was a whole section piece they did on people praising Hill Dog if she runs, and Canadians ran a poll that they want Hill Dog to run, that if she was to run, she would win by Canadian standards and stuff like that. Nobody knows, like they're so in this mind of not openness and sharing ideas, right? Again, before re-election, this article detailing Liberals' party plan to regulate social media should they win. The party appears to be moving forward full stream. So they didn't win a majority government, but they're looking to see 8 times CBC's Rosemary showed bias for the Liberals. So there's a lot going on. So defects even matter these days? I don't think so. SNC Lavin scandal was early 2019. So there's a lot of things that are happening and they want to shut us down, guys. The problem is, if this happens, I would love to move my family to the United States, but the problem is, it's really hard to immigrate there. I already tried to immigrate there. I got a company to sponsor me, a big company. I did all my paperwork. We ran an ad in 6 or 5 different media platforms to make sure I wasn't stealing a job for an American first. I did the whole 9 yards, and then I went to the interview and they said, we're not looking for your kind right now, or we're not taking in your kind right now to reapply in 5 more years. So that's what happened to me. So I did everything by the book for the United States, to do it by the United States. Had a big corporation. The corporation even surrendered all their banking statements to them to make sure they could afford to pay me and everything. And then after I went through all that, and they basically told me no. So anyways, I don't want people to give up their rights to be able to form an opinion, to speculate, to discuss. Like, let's start with me now. Look, this was put up by me. Mike Martins this was put up by me. This was put up about me by somebody. Mike Martins is a dirty, fat liar, fraud, and fake. I even went to the police. Let's trace the IP address. Let's find out where this came from, right? But it's about me, and it discusses how basically I'm on welfare, and I'm collecting this, and telling people not to donate to my channel. So, and then we got here a lot of things. Like, where is it? I've been in touch with somebody in Merritt, going to Cybercrime Command to inform them about Mike's behavior. Mike is very dangerous and he needs to pay for this. If someone chooses to slander Mike, it's okay because it's just an opinion, right? And that's true. It's just an opinion, right? Or critique fake accounts slandering his business. It's not illegal. It's forming an opinion, right? So the other business in town saying, Mike Martins is digging himself a deep hole. He's a molester, and I'm trying to do is save all the local townsfolk from his lying and manipulative ways. He needs to be shut down and run out of town. There is no room in Merritt for this kind of behavior. I'm doing the town a favor to get this scumbag shut down, right? There's a lot of stuff here, like ultra low-level drug-pushing, clauses, racist thief. I have sent a cease and desist to Mike. It just goes on and on and on, and calling me a molester. There's a lot of times where I am. Attention citizens of Merritt, BC, we can work together to get his business shut down. Too many complaints of molesting people reported from there. We need to work together to get him shut down. But I'm not telling people that they're not allowed to say this. It's their God-given right to make up stuff if they want about me. That's fine. I'm not worried about it, right? I went to the police. The police said he's forming an opinion, which is, I guess, what he's doing. But I'm not trying to regulate and tell people what to say about me, Like this, how I escaped the cult of Mike Martins. Somebody had created an entire website about how they escaped the cult of Mike Martins, basically it ties into everything that's said in here, right? So, how I escaped the cult of Mike Martins, and blah, 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 and all this stuff, and basically, I'm not saying they can't do this, right? They wrote a whole, 10 pages and this, and exposing me and stuff like that. It's about me, right? I didn't write it, but it's about me, right? So, again, when people write 1-star reviews on my business, right? A lot of 1-star reviews on my business from the same guys. Y2K Trucker, Murray Gilroy. A lot of them. Then you go on the other site in town, the other business that's similar to mine. There's a 5-star from the same person that wrote the 1-star on mine. They're creating a point of view. It's a critique of a review, right? It's their opinion, right? I'm not trying to. It is what it is. It's business. You're always going to have people go in with full muscles, and they're going to try and get you shut down, But one thing that's upsetting me is now the purging of actual news media that makes sense in Canada. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Mike, all these immigrants coming into Canada. You're an immigrant. What's your problem?" Well, they keep deleting all these. This is from CBC News. Deported Portuguese families So there's a lot of here construction workers are rising. They're not talking about how the federal government sent in their police into our high schools, into our gymnasiums, called down all the Portuguese speaking students in the high schools and told them that if their parents didn't bring in documentation, they get put on a plane right there and then. They don't go home, sell their house, or pack a bag. They get thrown on a plane. But it's all gone. I can't find any of it. You know, mass purging of entire families. Up to 41,000 Portuguese families were deported from Ontario because they weren't welcome in Canada. Okay, but then they bring in immigration, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands from other country. I just want to know why all the articles are gone. All the articles are dead-end articles. They don't go anywhere anymore. I had all the links saved of all the Portuguese deportation from the CBC, CBI, like all the proper ones. They're all gone. Everything's gone. Oh, I even contacted somebody at the CBC and they told me specifically that those are out-of-date articles, that they're no longer relevant today. But, I mean, they deported tens of thousands. She's like, I understand that. But in today, things are different now. So, wait. This is like book burning. You know what I'm saying? So they want to put what they want to put, but they don't want to discuss the mass deportation of specifically Portuguese. Right here. In March, this is from 2006, many of them were from Portugal. Rising cries from the Portuguese community in Canada that they're being unfairly singled out. They were. Tens of thousands were put on planes. They weren't welcome in Canada. A lot of them were living in Canada 10, 20 years, own their houses, send their kids to school, invest in the infrastructure. But they need to get rid of them. But why are they getting rid of the media? I have to go back to Toronto now. I got to go back to the high school I was in. I already spoke to the former principal and other people. They're willing to do a sit down and talk about this mass purging of the students. Mass purging of families that were basically picked up and thrown on a plane. But why would they get rid of this? And you know why this video is not being deleted? Because what I'm saying isn't a lie. I'm not fabricating things or making this stuff up. This happened. So I don't understand why they want to regulate, because then if they want to regulate media, then this section of Canadian history with the mass deportation and unfairness singling out of Portuguese will be lost in history, will be lost to history, and will never be surfaced anymore. When I die, no one will ever know about this anymore, right? That's the problem. And they make Canada look like it's got its doors open to the whole world. It's got its doors open specifically to specific countries, not to the whole world. So people need to understand that. And again, this video won't be taken down because what I'm saying is true. And it's going to get monetization because it's true. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Go ahead and check out the Dirty here. Go to the Dirty, type in Mike Martins. It's written about me. And everything, if you go into everything here, and then you go into a lot of the other screenshots I have of emails and stuff that were sent to me, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. 130 something comments on this thing. Excuse me, 128. I asked the police if they could at least subpoena the to find out what where it's coming from. At least let me know where it's coming from. They said that this is not necessary. That they're just creating an opinion, right? Attention Merritt, the Merritt molester Mike Martins is back again. Police cars were parked outside his shop all week. It looks like he was back at molesting again. Keep your children away from this monster. Stay away from Merritt Toys and Games, right? So they're slandering me and my business, but you know what? That's fine. It's their God-given right to do this. It's their right to do things like this because you know what? They want to form an opinion about me. Go ahead. And for the people that know me, that's great. And if you want to get back at all these haters, go ahead and join the channel. The more people they see join the channel, the more hate that comes. Also, if you want to go to Teespring and buy something, guys, buy something. Buy a mug for me. I got the new Lord Humongous mug. It comes in black and pink. The black one is the official Lord Humongous mug. Gold and silver is real money, Lord Humongous. And if you guys want to go to the pink Lord Humongous mug, and here it is here, Lord Humongous, the anime pink mug, if you guys want to check that out. Also, there's lots of stuff. The Raven, we got people from my Morning Coffee with Mike Martin's channel, Mike Martin's towels. This Mike in the Night towel is really nice. It's $30, but it's a nice towel. The quality, look at that Mike in the Night with all the cities. It's amazing. Be part of the channel, guys. Support. Do what you can, guys. It's just me doing this. Let me know what you guys think about what Canada's plans are for regulating social media. Now, we don't have a leg to stand on anymore. If we don't, then I honestly see a huge dystopian effect here in Canada, where when things start getting out of control in that sense, I'm ready to sell and move on to another country. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to really take the next steps and really take the next step forward when we don't have any basic rights, right? People have basic rights to say what they want to say about me, create a whole website about me and all this stuff. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I even write about it and talk about it. You know, it's interesting. Let me know. Comment below. Thanks for watching.